welcome to episode 3 of our Y62 turbo build. If you haven't watched episode 1 or 2, just go back and watch it now. It's going to make a lot more sense. Enjoy. Mate!
Hi.
How are ya?
Oh, awesome.
Episode 3 of this Y62 twin turbo build is holding me up a little bit. Where are we at with it? What has Grayson done this week?
Just about finished everything off.
So you're talking about boost piping, so he's done the
Boost piping's all finished,
Yep.
yes. Worked out brackets and supporting everything. Beads, obviously welded everything up that we'd mocked up.
Yep.
So everything was obviously just tacked together, so he's welded everything up finally.
Yep.
Put beads on everything so hoses don't blow off.
He's plumbed up oil feed, oil drain,
Yep. All the water, all that's been sorted. So yeah, it's all back off now. Everything getting painted and final cleanup. Everything, all the final welding's been done, and I believe he's putting it back together today.
Wow!
He reckons he might have it going this afternoon.
He reckons he might have it running this afternoon. That is awesome.
I think it'll be tomorrow.
Yep, before he kicks in the guts.
If he gets it going today, that will be a very good effort.
Yeah, no, that is good. That is good.
Can't wait.
It looks like everything's fitting so far, including even your 3D printed airbox to turbo.
Yeah. Yes, the intake, yes.
So
It's good getting in first.
yeah, I know.
Make people work around my... I love it.
Hi,
Good afternoon.
you're going to explain to me some stuff.
We are. This is a pipe that feeds the compressor housing, and this is a discharge pipe off the compressor housing, or the hot side of the intercooler. So more or less, air comes into the turbocharger, gets boosted, pushed to the intercooler to be cooled down, and then into the engine. And you'll notice it's changed from last time. We was first initially thinking we'd bring it out and up and through the guard. When we had the wheel in it, put a nice big bulge where it was. So we've rejigged it, so now we go straight up and straight across, and it's also more or less mirrored on the other side. So it's even easier. We haven't even had to modify the compressor housing. We just got a 90-degree silicon straight off it. Very sexual chocolate. Here,
Yep.
someone's 3D printed the outlets of to feed our comp covers in the wrong spots.
Oh, is it in the wrong spot?
Yeah, it needs to be lower.
Oh, do you know what's funny about that? I remember when he printed them. He said, if I print this now, Grayson has to make it all line up.
Get in first.
make them fit my parts.
What are we looking at, bud?
We're currently looking at our intercooler cold side, or from the intercooler to the throttle body, and we're in the process of sticking both our math card in,
Yep.
and on the other side our auxiliary injectors. This is our injector boss we've made on our mill.
Yep.
We got a CNC CAD drawing, and we then used our tooling here to make it in-house, which we're pretty proud of. And I'm just finishing it off now, so our injector is in the airflow, so we're hand porting it. Very sexy. And why we're hand porting it is the airstream is coming this way, and we want to add fuel directly into the airstream, as opposed to when it comes fresh out of our mill, the end of the injector is sort of hidden, and it would the fuel would pool on the drilled bit.
Drag me from my office down here to film this.
I have.
What is it?
This is our intercooler.
Really?
Yep. It is specially ordered in to be this vertical flow that we can make fit into the Patrol in a very OEM fashion way.
Yep.
Hence why we've knocked the ends off, put a slight angle on them.
Yep.
Put bosses on everything, so it trims up.
Yeah.
It actually fits up really nice and easy. I was given a CAD drawing with dimensions on it, which I copied onto a sheet of aluminium.
Yep.
Cut it out, stuck it in the pan brake, folded it up, and this is what we have.
So this is bar and plate as opposed to...
Tube and fin,
Why would we use bar and plate?
because we got more surface area for heat transfer to occur.
Ooh. So not only are we doing this YouTube series, this is also going on our TV show on Channel 7, Mate. So we've got the production crew here, filming Grayson over there. For season 6 of Rides Down Under Workshop Wars, which will be airing later on this year. So this whole build, we've got our behind the scenes sort of stuff, but we actually got the production crew and everything happening, for TV. So it's going to be pretty exciting. If you follow all of our socials and stuff, I'll pop up a link when it's on. But real cameras, real lights, real action.
We've got our twin turbo Y62. We've been chasing the tune up quite a bit over the last couple of weeks, just trying to get the package really refined and getting it making the power that we know it can. And we've come across an interesting dilemma, I would say, with the distribution from the factory inlet manifold. We're using a factory plastic Y62 inlet manifold in this, and we're feeding some auxiliary fuel via some auxiliary injectors in the inlet pipe after the intercooler. And the distribution in that manifold is all over the place. And we've been probing the exhaust to see the rich cylinders versus the lean cylinders and so on. And we've decided to stop where we are. We're going to change the inlet manifold. We're actually designing our own inlet manifold that'll have 8 auxiliary port injectors in it, and then we'll go again, because at the power level we are now, we're right in the danger zone on some cylinders, and some cylinders are a bit rich or a bit fat or whatever you want to call it, so we're not happy with that. Yeah, so once we get our inlet manifold on it with 8 port injectors, and we know the mixtures are even across all the cylinders, then we'll release the kit ready to go, making the power that we know it can.
Hey mate.
Hey, how you going?
Good. Mark just took us through why we stopped.
Yeah, so obviously mixture distribution is a big issue with the way we're adding the extra fueling. Obviously we've been doing that on the superchargers, and we do get away with it on the supercharged model because we're spraying before the supercharger, and then the supercharger really spreads it across the manifold, you know, the aftermarket manifold. So it's a totally different concept. We know they're not using the factory manifold, whereas with us, we're using the factory manifold, spraying before it, and there's just the airflow through. It's just not cutting it. So we're just sort of playing around with a few different models and whatnot and designs. So, you know, this is the sort of thing we're going to end up with, fabricated out of aluminium. So we're going to have our, you know, injector per port, and you know, 8 injectors plus a direct injection stuff. And again, like we've mentioned before, I mean, obviously with these new direct injection vehicles, there's just not much in the aftermarket as far as bigger injectors and fuel pumps and that sort of stuff. I mean, obviously with normal conventional type port injectors, there's everything from 100cc to 2000cc injectors. So the direct injection side of it, the aftermarket just hasn't caught up. So obviously when you're trying to develop new product for late model vehicles, these are the sort of challenges you're faced with. But you know, we've got ways around it, and it'll just take a little bit longer, and we'll get there in the end.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good. And did you design that yourself?
Yeah.
No, you're not just a pretty face.
No, sort of, yeah. Jack of all trades, master of none.